Shoreline, Alaska.
Shoreline,
Tyson
Alaska.
Alward. How you doing, bud?
Good.
It's been good to see you again. Thanks for coming down today.
Thanks for having us.
That was awesome.
Yeah,
It was
very impressive.
We had a lot of folks from different industries looking at both the laser and your Ukote process,
Yeah.
which I'm a believer in today, and definitely
Seeing is believing.
Yeah, and the way my mind goes is looking at all the different applications, that I think it can be used.
It seems like it could be used in a very wide variety. I mean, from municipalities, parks, right? You're thinking about all these things that people interact with.
Oh yeah.
All the way into severe industrial mining, industrial, production of food. It's so wide. Its range.
Give them context first. I want to say, where'd you get your start? You get up there in Alaska.
In Ukote?
Yeah, tell us what you do with Shoreline first, like your background.
Okay, I work in vessel repair and vessel management of repair, and I'm a port captain, which means managing the actual vessels and the crew, and I own and operate a 90-foot salmon tender. So that's what I was doing before I got into Ukote. And the reason I got into Ukote is because there's a lot of competition in marine repair in Alaska, and I was looking for a niche. And I was talking to a friend of mine, and he said Corrali, who's a large business, is looking for a coatings contractor. They're having a lot of problems, and I don't like
barging sand up from the end.
Yeah, I mean, up and back, right? Because you don't only remediate the coating with the sand, but then you got to pick all the sand back up and ship it off to get, So I went to first the Pacific Marine Expo. I mean, these expos I go to every year, and I walked around, and there wasn't much for me there, but I ran into you. Actually, it wasn't you, it was Micah, who I first talked to, and then Darren. And I don't even know if I talked to you at that expo.
I was probably down in the,
Anyway, and then I went to the New Orleans Expo a few weeks later, and I found Robert again. And this time I said, hey, now if I'm thinking about being a coatings contractor, I'm gonna have to go see these things.
Yeah.
So when I got home, I hopped on a plane and I flew to Tampa and, demonstrated it with Jake, and was just blown away by all the qualities it has.
Yeah.
The zero VOC is the first thing that I cared about, just because in shipyard, that's like the hardest thing to protect your employees against.
Oh yeah.
Right? Organic compounds is the number.
Same with laser generated air contaminants, right? Yeah. Different contaminant isn't going to go through
respiratory.
Yeah.
So I feel like I just found an industrial coating that's tougher than anything I've ever seen, and it doesn't have any respiratory, So, and then all the other qualities that I learned about it, like
potable water.
Well, being able to put it right back into service, not
that shortens windows down. That's a great quality. And I was thinking about it on the mechanical side, bringing a big cooling tower down, waiting for epoxies to cure in the cold and wet environments where you're trying to keep the thing warm, and that this could be shot in and put back in submersion.
And in Alaska, I mean, we're dealing with coatings here. So industrial coatings have windows. You drop your zinc down, and then you put your epoxy down, and you put your high solids poly on top of that. Well, every one of those coatings has to have a window for its next coat. You can't wait too long. You can't do it right away. So now you're having to hold and maintain a temperature in Alaska in the winter, because that's our paint season.
Yeah.
And to a perfect, which is almost impossible.
Yeah.
And is very, very expensive.
So you ended up then buying. So you got the Ukote, and that has a backpack. It has the hoppers, and it sprays
flame applied.
It's a flame applied
powder coating.
Polyurethane.
It's a polyurethane copolymer
with adhesion. I think some adhesion.
It has
adhesion.
And I mean, I don't know if you saw when I was doing the business cards, but I scooped it up with a metal metal spatula, and then they stuck to the. I had to like peel them off, and that wasn't even prepped.
So then did you get that system first? So now you're thinking about the coating, and you picked up a 500 pulse, and you're doing demonstrations up there.
Yes.
But so it's a combination package.
So yeah, so I saw the deal, and I was still wanting to be a contractor, not a salesman. So, but I needed to show.
Right.
I needed to show like the potential, but I can't afford a $120,000 laser, but I can afford the smaller laser. So I got the laser, the Ukote, and everything, and then Robert offered me a partnership, and I decided that was the direction I was going to go in, but I still have to go and show off my coating, and I need to remediate coatings in order to do that. So I still need a way of remediation, and we have lasers, which is, this amazing new technology. And then I have this amazing new technology for coatings. The two go perfectly together.
And you're also looking beyond the marine side.
This is oil and gas. Like I said, municipalities. I mean, the all food production, seafood production. I'm talking to those freezers, so it holds up really well to 60 below. So
maintain some flexibility.
So for doing lining freezers, they normally use polyurea, and it always fails. And so not only can you repair the polyurea freezers with Ukote, but now you can also do new applications of Ukote. And so the world of Ukote has this really wide-reaching, ability, just because of its non-toxicness and super tough in resistance.
It does, but it leads to a point. I remember looking at that picture of you down in that, you were refitting a big vessel. I'm not sure which one it was, but it is on your website, and you're down there in the engine room.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
And then there's pictures of the job. Everything in that boat was getting
recoated.
Refit, and there was there was construction. You can go
we stripped it to its bones, and then blasted it and painted it and put it back
think
together.
about the disciplines there that you. That's what struck me, is you're bringing a knowledge of real world environments and trades. You're down, from the engine to the joinery and stuff, right? And that is.
There's nothing in vessel repair that I don't.
And by default, so if you're, I'm always telling people, if you're in, like, let's say if you're using a laser in, that's why I like talking to guys like you, because if you're using a laser and you're out and you're doing that one thing, and you're out on, maybe it's steel, that's your thing, or you're out in the boats or steel fab or whatever, you are by default also in a bit of the metal finishing business and the other things that go with it. And so those guys that can weld and understand welding, you're also understanding different metals and metallurgy and finishes and how not to contaminate something, how to passivate something properly.
I mean, welding is science, and good welders understand the science behind it.
Right, and it's a great spot to be successful in lasers, but it's also a great spot for Ukote, right? Because of the surface prep, and you've been out there in that, you've dealt with big coating companies and the inspectors, and that can be a tough learning curve if you're coming at a trade with one aspect of it, because you'll be cleaning, and maybe there's a coating company that isn't working under your contract or whatnot, that is coming through behind you, and maybe that coating fails later or whatever. It's like, it's a disjointed, it could be, but bringing, folks that you were also bringing those trades under, you probably had some subs on the boat, doing work for you, and you're managing that. And that's a collaboration. And
just my buddy, the electrician, that will help you out.
Yeah, exactly. So that is, I think, coming from where you're from an industry standpoint, it really raises the likelihood of your success in the business. Because I'm going, I kind of came out like you, but you're working on stone or your wood. We are, with the metal in different environments, and you're not going to get there with just doing a laser, you might need supplementary tools or things, or yeah. So back to the story. You've now got the. How do you like that laser?
I love it. It's great.
Pretty
it's
hot little burner.
It's incredible what it'll do, and it does more than most people think they'll do. Like, I mean, I'm talking 1 inch of solid scale that I blew right through. I you were showing that piece, and you were like, oh, this.
Yeah.
You better beat it. But I mean, I can blow. You just got to focus it down. It's incredible, and we're talking about something that's plugged into the wall.
Detail. Work with it, and I go, yeah.
So John from Crowley just kept handing me like, oh, I'll go find a piece, and you go out to the yard and it'd be this old crappy piece, and I'd blow right through it.
I worry about it. The thing and you're doing inspections with both that and the Ukote,
yep.
right? And what I'm doing is there's a lot of like laser guys will get all going, and they'll be running all over the states doing demonstrations, right? And you don't know what they're going to bring you when you show up, or how safe, like if you're in a tinderbox or something,
Yeah.
So it's like it's something to to think about. I would say plan that. It's the same safety stuff around that we're doing, but I like doing them here in the shop. And we had a big group here today, and I think everybody was really impressed. But you got going, and you're up out of Homer,
Alaska. Yep.
And you have been demonstrating both. How's that going for you?
It goes really good. So, like you said, the laser side takes a little bit more because you want to make sure you have a safe nominal hazard zone.
Yeah.
And all that. But I'm 100% mobile. And I just show up, and we've been timing it. It takes me about 45 minutes to set the whole thing up and break it all down. And I'm just getting into it, so I've only done a few of these demonstrations, but they've all gone really well. I mean, they've gone like the one today where people are just, the laser and the Ukote are both just sort of mind blowers in our industry.
Yeah. The properties of that, like I said, let's recap. You've got. What struck me is the hardness.
Yeah, so a Shore D55.
55. How the elongation?
414%.
And temperature, low temperature tolerant.
Oh yeah.
For that.
Yeah.
And
it's got a tensile strength that's 3,895. Don't quote me. PSI. Yeah, 0 VOCs.
And
100% non-toxic. Yep. FDA approved.
And sets up immediately on the surface. So
as soon as it's cool, it is ready to go back into service.
Yeah.
But it will not reach the full Shore D55 hardness for 8 hours. But you get about half of it. So you're still getting. You can turn the fans on. You can fill the tank full of water. You just probably don't want to drive a Caterpillar across it.
Yeah.
And in 8 hours, it's 100%.
So the unique thing is the it's a hopper.
Yep.
We've got a singular component in it. It's a dust. So we're not mixing. It's not chemically mixing like the polyureas or that. It is a singular component.
Yep.
Or I call it a powder, but composite resin.
It's a powder.
Different colors.
Yep. Different colors, including glow in the dark. You can put non-skid in it for making a non-skid deck.
I always think about the spill control and all the stuff that you're doing, with the mixing of the.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about any kind of hazardous waste spill at all.
Yeah.
When you're dealing with spraying paint, just cleaning the sprayer can produce a lot of really toxic stuff that's a pain in the ass to get rid of.
Yeah. That then it's fed through, and you're just bringing a propane
LP gas,
yeah,
compressed air, and powder. Those are the three things, and they all mix at the nozzle.
So it is unique in that it's using a flame applied.
Yes.
But when I think of powder coating, I think of like the metal or the I think of metallic or
we put it in ovens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would see them do flame spray, like rebuilding fan shafts and stuff. We'd send stuff out and we'd watch them use different processes. But this being I would characterize it as an elastomeric kind of product, like a tank lining with some, and but
I mean,
but harder, but definitely.
So it's almost the same hardness as HDPE.
Okay,
so it's pretty hard shit, but the elongation is that's the sort of the incredible thing about it, is that it's hard, but it's also soft somehow.
Yeah. It's like the perfect combination of the sciences and the black arts.
Yes.
It's like,
yes.
It is.
Along with your laser.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's some little magic box inside of that thing that makes it do what it does. I don't know.
Yeah,
but it's pretty impressive.
Hard on getting the sort of the tuning on those. And lasers are kind of like, that's the next thing we've been talking about is, if your baseline is working in Alaska or on big utility projects, and you look at lasers and you go, well, they're kind of like computers, like back in the 80s and stuff, where your dads, they'd have the stereo systems and then the components. And are they meant to be out in the, like out here? And it's building robust systems, not only for the applications, but also the things that we were talking about, some of the developments that we were looking at in terms of mobility, and I won't get too deep into that, but like the stuff that allows us to get this out onto and into the ships and what we're doing. So, and I see a lot of great laser, builders and small, trades folks out there that are innovating. I love to see it. I can't spend a lot of time out on the Reddit boards or the chat boards, but I do look at that, and then seeing it come from the top down on validated, like scientific white papers and like that side of it. And I'm a little more on maybe that side, but in terms of the application of what we're doing in the shop, there's a lot of experiential testing going on. It's just, that is, I think it's going to be a great application for you. And you're doing some pretty interesting things. So now you mentioned something earlier, and that was contracting side. And you come and talk to me a couple, last week or something. Like, I think maybe
now I'm going into sales.
Yeah, you're a salesman.
And so now I'm a salesman, apparently. And we're going to see how it goes. So far, it's been going pretty good.
Yeah.
But I really believe in the product.
Yeah.
I never in a million years thought I'd be selling a coating. I mean, if you asked me in December if I would ever sell a coating, I would just say, oh, you're crazy. Why would I, But I just found something that answers basically all of our problems in the industrial coating industry. So
where would you not use? Where would you be careful of using?
Well, it's only the flame applied part, right? So, I'm not going to put it on a propane tank that's full of propane.
Right, yeah.
So there's going
sugar silo.
Yeah, I mean, so there's going to be things that we're not going to want to put it on.
Helmet down.
But I mean, it really has just a huge range because it's not toxic, because it's FDA approved.
Yeah. And I love seeing. I do see where more and more in industry these guys are down in. I lean towards I see this in commercial or in the building and equipment conservation. And I will say, just coming back from DC with our legislators and meeting folks on the trades, how much money is coming back into the rebuilding of America's infrastructure and manufacturing. And that is a lot of, and also asset preservation. So we were talking to the water district and stuff today, big, and bringing in that big valve lid and all of this about that asset preservation, if done correctly, is important. And we back in the day, the economy might tank out and trash, but we had some of our busiest years when things were slow, because the refurbishment of mechanical assets, you got to have them, but you could save clients 50% of the cost of replacement. And we were in that now. And that is still very much, I think, a part of our discussion about infrastructure renewal. We're hearing an awful lot about the data centers. Mm-hmm. and trades moving into the new stuff, but there's so many industries that need innovative solutions.
Oh yeah.
Provided by people with good trade, mature, seasoned, have been in and out of those
worked
plants
in the field and actually applied and
so
see the problems and then I saw a problem and then I saw a solution. I was like, well, I guess I'm a Ukote salesman now.
I've never been more impressed with the marine show, because guys are just walking by and the stuff that they're doing.
Oh yeah.
And you wouldn't recognize, but they come up and you meet some incredibly talented folks.
Yeah.
And in talking to you, I knew that you had a lot of experience out there. And so you're going to sell. So you're a great focal for. Are you just up there out of Alaska?
No, we're all over the whole United States.
Okay, so you can answer.
I can
calls. I'll answer calls for you. So.
Yep, I'm the whole territory. Yeah. So Alaska is mine 100%. So there's nobody else that's going to sell Ukote in Alaska. But there's no other dealers on the West Coast. So I plan on coming down here in late December after the workboat show with my truck and my trailer, and I'm going to stay down here for the winter, going and showing off.
We'll land here.
Between here and California, I'm just going to do the whole coast.
Yeah, that is great. We've got a lot of activity down there out of California right now.
Oh yeah, I mean, I was just talking to Lynn Marine Dredge. I mean, they're very interested in it. Just the fact that it's chemical free is like
oil, and lots of oil and gas folks we're engaged with. And those guys are also doing a lot of interesting things, and and it's good to talk.
I think oil and gas is going to be a huge one. Well, it is being used in oil and gas down in Louisiana. Robert has a client down there that they do all their pipelines with it and all their tanks.
No kidding.
And they like to lay it a half an inch on the pipeline.
They're going at it hard.
There was like, we don't want to ever do this again.
I'll tell you a story I remember doing a job. I can't say the plant, but I was testing a polyurea, right? Like big, and I knew to it, and it's 30 degrees and sleet out, and these 3 towers got to run, and we take one down, and we're going at it, and the coating team, they come in and they spray it out, and they put a primer in it, right? And they're getting some heat in there, and then they fire off the polyurea. And you got to get that stuff just right, let alone when it's cold and sleety rain out. And they're just going at it and putting a very thick lining in this thing. We fill it up and get it going. We hopscotch over to the next one, and we're working on that. I had a technician go back over to check on the one that's operating, and he comes back to me and goes, Ryan, we got a problem over here in this thing. It's floating in the basin like water, but like it's lifting, it's getting undermined. And what happened was they shot too hot over the primer, right, which off-gassed
and peeled
it. But it was still stout. It was stout enough not to cause a major malfunction, but it made me very nervous because I gotta keep 2 running.
Yeah.
So you're going to get over and you're working on that. And had we had this coating, I'd be in, out, done.
Yep.
And
on to the next one.
On to the next one. So
fill it right back up.
So that was, I'm sure we'll have to have a podcast with contractors around the pallet fire. We'll call it Tales of Woe. Sit there, talk about but you learn an awful lot from those things. We try to steer out of them. Luckily, we've been. Just keep working and pay attention to the work.
And now you got Ukote.
Yeah, and I'm see a lot of applications. Everybody's been excited about it, and Charles, old Charles.
Yes,
he's going to be.
He seemed interested by the end.
In his lab right about now. He's putting the glue on to do the
pull test.
Yeah, but if he gives it then he was in there, and I see him, and it definitely has its applications.
Oh, yeah.
He's been around an awful long time, and out there on the water tanks. But
yeah, he seemed skeptical at first, and then pretty happy by the time he left.
Well, that is
And we'll
good.
see how
What's
the
your
pull test goes. Also, I'm curious to see how that goes, so that'll be nice. I gave him a piece to the pull test.
With the hammer test and the screwdriver test was good enough for me. I was like,
You never let me do the test that I really wanted. I just didn't have
that?
time, but you know, beating it so it has a dish in it.
Yeah.
And then because it'll just stretch forever, and then you flip it upside down and put it on an anvil and beat the piece of steel flat, and then wipe it off, and it doesn't look like it's ever been hit.
Yeah, well, we got to run it through, and it has a lot of good data sheets, and where would you not use it? What to contain anything that would be like?
Oh, well, I mean, like toluene, benzene, it's not going to hold.
Anything that would dissolve a plastic, that type of thing. So that sounds, that is.
Yes.
That is good.
So those would be the things, things that melt plastic, but all the data is there, for all kinds of chemicals that they've.
Yeah. And you're finding that that's a good combination between the lasering and the.
I think it's an amazing. It's a perfect marriage.
But even then, if you're sandblasting thousands of square feet of the side of a boat, you can just spray it right in, right?
Yep.
So that's good, and we're going to be testing it. And I think what we'll do is what I'd like to do is test it out on the mechanical side.
Yeah.
And I like the cooling tower market or structural steel, and get a pilot going. But I do see a heck of an opportunity there to solve a lot of problems.
That's what I saw
with that.
I saw a product that solves a lot of problems in the industrial coating industry.
So you're
not necessarily every last one of them because of the flame application, but besides that, it's pretty much solved them all.
What's been the biggest factor to like your philosophy or your success out there? Because you're making a right-hand turn like us. We're not 20-year-olds anymore, but we're. But you grabbed your bags and you went to Alaska.
Oh yeah.
And you're up and started going, and in the course of your work on the ships, what keeps you going out there?
Oh, I mean, I just have I don't like a ceiling. I don't like somebody telling me this is as far as you can go, right?
Yeah.
And so my life has always been looking for the next thing to go do that's new, that I can learn more about. I love to learn.
Entrepreneurial.
So yeah, curious. I've done pretty much every aspect of creating things, constructing things, from wood, steel, boats, houses, planes, helicopter. Most things, cars, manufacturing plants. I've worked, repairing them or fixing them and trying to understand them. My whole life, I've just moved on to another thing. Once I figure it out and I know it,
you keep building on it.
Yeah,
and go
like marine repair is pretty boring for me now because
Yeah.
I've been doing it for a while. And so this is like this new exciting thing. So yeah, packed my bags and went for it.
Well, there you go.
You know, so and hope for the best, right?
Yeah.
And there's no, there's no reward without risk. So
we know that firsthand.
So yes,
sir.
So I figured this is a big risk because I'm trying to convince somebody that I have a coating that answers all these problems. Like nobody really wants to believe that, you know, like how can that, it's a miracle, you know, miracle cures. Nobody wants to believe those. So it's a little bit of a risk, but I believe in it enough that I took the risk because I know that once I have it in my hand and I show people like you and I beat it with a hammer and I dunk it in water, that you go, oh, okay, this is real.
Does it feel like work to you?
No, but my work never feels like work.
This doesn't feel like work. It is, you're meeting fascinating people and it certainly doesn't feel like work. Hasn't always been that way. You're sometimes in the grind, but it's the practice of it every day, and I'm so looking forward to us.
Yeah, me too.
Going on in our partnership out here and helping clients like yourself and others out there.
Well, you've been a great support to the laser. I mean, you guys were, that's why I went with you guys. It was because of not just because of your product. There's lots of lasers out there,
Yeah.
but it is a much superior laser, I think, in my opinion. But it was the support that Systems Lasers that comes along with your product.
Well,
That was the number one seller for me.
I think our narrative, my was, I feel it. What happens after you get the laser? What happens after you get the laser?
Exactly. We
If
want
I've
to
been
see
through
it successful.
I can help others,
Yep.
and you can do the same thing. And I was asking you about design. Now
Yep.
we're different things and feedback, and it's going to be a great opportunity and adventure for us. And
I look forward to
ultimately,
this relationship.
at the end of the day, I never did anything with money, but being out under those stars with your guys and going at the work around the country is where I get a lot of joy out of that.
Me too.
So,
Yep.
sir, it's a
Thank you.
pleasure. Let's do it.
Yep, appreciate it.
So.